empties videos, I do try to keep them organized. I try to group the empties in categories. I've tried to, or what I've done is I've posted little videos on Instagram, which are kind of like my staples, just to try to keep these videos on the short side, but today is going to be long. I've got a huge bag here, you can see. It's pretty big. And you know, I did a video 10 weeks ago. I'm not too sure how I compiled such a massive bag of empties, but I did. So let's get right to it. I haven't done it this way before where I just randomly stick my hand in the bag and pull out the empty, but we're gonna give it a go with this style, and you guys can let me know if you prefer kind of this random grab bag style of an empties video, or if you like them more organized like I've done it in the past. So let's just get going and we'll see how long this turns out. So right in front of me, right on the top here, is my Osmia Dirty Chai packaging. Obviously I don't have the bar soap or the bar of soap because I used it all. And I do have one more of these left, but I'm not going to open it up because I'm going to save it. So I'll try and find a picture for you guys that maybe I've taken on Instagram of what the bar of soap looks like. But as you probably know, this is my favorite bar of soap. I love Dirty Chai. I love the scent of it. I love the lather it provides. I love that it doesn't dry out your skin. It is limited edition, so you're not going to be able to find this on the Osmia website anymore. But when this does roll around next fall, I highly recommend you guys grab these. So, yep, empty of that. I do have an empty of the Acure Body Beautiful 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner. I'm not sure when this was released, but this is a relatively new product, which I was really excited about that Acure came out with a shampoo. I use this as a shampoo, not as a 2-in-1. This is not going to cut it for me as a conditioner as well. But I was really glad that they came out with a big size bottle rather than just the tube for conditioner, for shampoo, because you know, this is obviously more eco-friendly because you can recycle this. This works for me pretty well as a shampoo. It's not super hydrating like the name would suggest. My boys really like using it though, so I do have another one. So this is definitely going to be a repurchase staple as sort of a family product for us. Moving on to another, let's see, this is the conditioner and the shampoo from InnerSense. This is their, let's see, hydrating cream conditioner, hydrating cream hair bath. Both of these products are very much for people with dry and damaged hair. Both of these almost weighed down my hair a little bit too much. These would not be I don't wash my hair every day. It's probably like once or twice a week. This would be almost more of a twice a month type product, even the shampoo, which is saying a lot for because my hair does tend to be on the dry, kind of can get frizzy. So the shampoo is pretty thick. You don't really need to use very much, because if you do, you're definitely going to have weighted down hair. If you have fine hair, oily hair, even normal, I would say both of these products would be really too much for you. They're more like treatment type products, I would say. And then the conditioner is super, super thick. I had a hard time even getting it out of the cap. I had to take the cap off, squeeze it into my hands, and I even, as soon as I got a third of the way through it, I had to turn it upside down in my shower and then really squeeze it out. I would say this is more like a conditioning mask, not so much a daily type of conditioner. And I found that this really weighed my hair down. It was just, like I said, just too much for just kind of that daily conditioner. As a hydrating mask, I think it would just be perfect, but I would stay away from this if you have dry hair, if you have oily hair, fine hair, this definitely would not be for you. Grabbing here the Red Flower Ohana Ginger Grass Bamboo Scrub. I mentioned this in my, this was in my recommendations for the gift guide. So you guys know, obviously, I highly recommend this. I really love this scrub. It's not a highly foaming scrub, but I would put it under the category of a foaming scrub. Love the lemongrass scent, and you can see completely gone. And this would definitely be something that I would get in the future. This is definitely a love for me, the Bright Eyes Eye Mask from 100% Pure. And 100% Pure is not a brand that I highly gravitate towards, but this is their standout product for me. I really love it, and I love how the mask definitely sticks under your eyes. You don't have to worry about it once you put it on. I think it says to leave on for 20 minutes, but I leave these on for 45 minutes, probably even an hour at a time with no problem. I feel like it really helps reduce with the puffiness, and yeah, I highly recommend them. I love them a lot. So this is not such a random pick, but I do want to follow talking about the 100% Pure eye masks with the Honest Hazel, so I intentionally am grabbing this one. I would say this is a close second. I really prefer the 100% Pure to the Honest Hazel because the Honest Hazel really does slide down your face. It wasn't as bad as I had remembered. I decided to give this a second chance. And what I noticed was when I am upright, like if I'm sitting up and I'm at the computer doing things with these on, and I had to have a mirror in front of me, and I was constantly, pushing them up for probably the first, I don't know, I would say like 5 to 8 minutes. And I needed a mirror so that I wasn't like, because I really do like to use these eye masks and keep them as close as I can, kind of up to the rim of my eyeball. And so I was doing that and pushing it up and up and up. And then as soon as I probably reached that 5 to 8 minute mark, it then stuck. And then I could kind of go about whatever I was doing, watching videos, emails, whatever it was on the computer, and then it was fine. But I don't really want to have to manage that for that first 5 minutes or so. I want to be able to slap them on and then just have them stick. And that's what happens with the 100% Pure. I don't have to worry about it. It's less high maintenance. So, and I do think that even though these helped with the puffiness, I think the 100% Pure are also a little bit more effective. So just in the end, the 100% Pure wins out over the Honest Hazel for me. Okay, next thing I'm grabbing here is the Amli Silver Rich Mist, and this one is the Digital Detox. So this has a little bit different ingredients than the Radiance Boost. I really love them both, but if I had to pick one, I actually think I like the Digital Detox scent better. It's just a little less floral, a little less heightened with that floral scent. And all of them, including the Sleep one, which I haven't smelled yet, which is coming in the February box from the Boxwalla. And you can actually still get that. That subscription is still open. And I'll link that below, of course. But all three of them do have linden blossom in them. And I like linden, but I'm not a huge linden fan. And so the linden is pretty marked in the Radiance Boost, which I love, and I've come to really enjoy using that, but it's a little dialed down in the Radiance Boost. So overall, if I had to pick one, I would pick the Radiance Boost. So we'll see how it goes with the Sleep one. I'm blanking on the exact name for their new one, but it's for Sleep. But yeah, I absolutely adore this one. It's a beautiful face mist. Definitely would get this again. I got this in a swap, actually. I think maybe Yenny, she's the swap queen, I think she gave this to me. Okay, so next empty is the Indie Lee Rose Hip Cleanser. Now for me, this one kind of left my skin just a little bit too squeaky clean for a foaming cleanser. There's other ones that I prefer, but my family loves using this. My boys really like this, especially my younger son. He specifically requested this, so I have repurchased this for him already. So this has become a family favorite. So while this is a little bit too much I don't even want to say too much because it is a gentle foaming cleanser, but it's just a little bit too, again, it just kind of left my skin just a little bit too squeaky clean. And it wasn't like it was stripped or left my skin uncomfortable. It just, I think my skin might lean a little bit too much on the dry side for this particular cleanser. But again, the rest of my family absolutely loves it. I know it gets huge raves, just not quite for my skin type, but I am repurchasing it for my family. cleanser that I am a huge fan of is the Jordan Samuel Plie, which I think now is called the Aftershow Cleanser. Absolutely adore this one. I feel like everything about it I love. I love the scent of it. It kind of has this sort of very gentle green apple fruity smell, which you know, might sound like it would be too much, but it's just so mild, and it kind of has this, it's like a familiar scent that reminds me of something that I can't put my finger on, but I really love the smell. I love the texture. I love how you can use it as a mask. What I really like using it for is in the shower with the massage, and then I'll use a little bit of the Global Trio from Lena Hansen over it, and then that is just an incredible duo together. Sometimes I'll also use the Dr. Hauschka cream cleanser over that, which is not really like a technically cream cleanser. It has a little bit of an exfoliant with it. I'll use the Tata Harper Rejuvenating Cleanser over this. So that's kind of how I tend to use this. And I really love it. I don't need to repurchase it right away just because I have so many cleansers going right now, but I will definitely be repurchasing this in the near future. And as you can see, I go through products pretty quickly, so I imagine I'll be getting this probably like in the next month or so, but definitely recommend that. Okay, next random pick is the Arcona Youth Serum. This is their vitamin C serum. It has 20% L-ascorbic acid. I mentioned this in my vitamin C review. I highly recommend this if you guys are in the market for a vitamin C serum, especially if you want something with L-ascorbic acid. I will link somewhere in here, either up here as a card or down below, to that review. So if you're looking for an L-ascorbic acid serum, I can't recommend this one highly enough. And yeah, so I'm gonna leave it at that because I could go on and on about vitamin C. So this is a staple for sure. The Flourish Natural Body Care Silky Hand and Body Lotion. I recommend all of them. I love all the scents. I think the patchouli is the only scent I have not tried yet. I was pleasantly surprised by the lavender mint. I thought actually it was going to have more lavender, but it definitely leans more on the mint side, which I really liked a lot. I even liked it in these colder months. I found it to be very kind of cozy and relaxing, kind of gave me that peppermint tea feeling. But then of course in the summer, the mint is also going to be really appropriate and kind of give you that cooling vibe as well. So I just think it's a great year-round scent, but also her Kirsten's body line is just amazing. I've talked about it a lot, and I love her lotions and I love her body creams, and yeah, a huge rave for Flourish all around, and her hair care as well. As I just mentioned, the Tata Harper Regenerating Cleanser is a huge staple of mine. I'm not going to talk about it too much because you guys have heard me talk about it a lot here. I just love this cleanser. I use it as on its own. I like using it in the morning, at night, by itself, over cleansing oils, cleansing balms. Enough said, it's always going to be a staple of mine. Now, I did give the Dr. Hauschka toothpaste a whirl, and while I did like it, it wasn't a huge love. You know, I really like the texture, the ingredients are good. It was kind of more of a taste thing, so it's very subjective, but if you find this on sale, if you're curious about it, if you're kind of in the market for a new natural toothpaste, I would say give it a go. I just, again, for me, it was kind of more of like a taste thing. It just didn't totally wow me. All right, grabbing here the African Botanics Pure Marula Cleansing Oil. I've just been hearing so many raves across the board about the African Botanics line. I think I got this from Space NK when they had some kind of a discount code, and I was a little bit disappointed in this. It's a really, really thin oil, which, you know, for some people they really like thin cleansing oils. I tend to like my cleansing oils a little bit on the thicker side. This is one that emulsifies off with water. I like having both in my arsenal. I like them when they emulsify, I like them when they don't, just sort of depends upon what my needs are at the particular moment. But the one thing is I don't really like their signature scent. I do have one other product that I purchased many years ago, and it has a very, very sweet vanilla scent, but the vanilla scent isn't really, I I don't know, it's just kind of a little bit of an odd vanilla scent, and I don't particularly enjoy it. So while I got through it, I was kind of rushing to get through it. Like I would use a pretty copious amount to wash my face, definitely more than was necessary. So I would definitely not get it again. And I feel like it's pretty highly priced for what it is. Moving to something more positive is the Pumpkin and Glow. This is a mask by Face Mask Alchemy. And I'm sure you guys know this is by Marie from And the Color Green. This is her mask subscription. And this was really beautiful. I really love this one. The ingredients are French clay, orange peel powder, pumpkin powder, acerola cherry, so that's going to be vitamin C, or give you a dose of vitamin C, and I think that's it on the ingredients. And yeah, I learned the hard way though that less is more, or not the hard way, but what ended up happening is I ended up using a pretty thick amount of this mask, and then I got a pretty intense red flush from it. So she and I texted back and forth about it, and she said, I think you probably used a little bit too much. So, you know, when you're reading the instructions for, especially on these dry masks, and they say use a thin layer, definitely use a thin layer. So it was at nighttime and it wasn't a big deal. I just applied a very thin layer of marula oil. I wanted to keep things really simple, and when I woke up the next morning, of course my skin looked really nice and it was very radiant and soft, and so it wasn't like anything bad happened. But I'm just glad that I hadn't done that, you know, before going out and, you know, having an event to go to or going out on a date with my husband or something. But yeah, and then she said you need to dial it back and make sure you use a thin layer and don't apply it, you know, for longer than, you know, 10 to 15 minutes or whatever. So then when I used it as directed and I used the thin layer just for like 10 to 15 minutes, then I didn't get that red flush. So just to let you guys know, you don't need to use a super thick layer when you're using these dry masks, and take the advice of the people who are creating the masks, you know, the formulators. So anyway, if you aren't subscribed to Face Mask Alchemy, I highly recommend that you do so. Marie is making beautiful masks, and her latest one, the Cold Turkey mask, is just beautiful. I've used it once now, and it's just a gorgeous hydrating mask. So definitely something to look into. All right, so this is the Honey Girl Rejuvenating Mask. This is a honey-based mask made with organic honey from Hawaii. I got this on a trip when I was in Hawaii, and I'm not going to talk too much about this, but it's just a really beautiful honey-based mask. I still have a little bit left because I wanted to make sure you guys could see the color of this. Really a beautiful mask. And you know, what I have noticed, of course, with honey masks is you need to make sure that your face is just a little bit wet, and I needed to wet the product a little bit, otherwise you're just going to be like tugging the honey across your face, which obviously is not very good for your skin. But once I kind of got that little technique down with the texture, wetting it a little bit, then it just smoothed over really beautifully. Has a beautiful exfoliating property to it as well. And if you haven't looked into Honey Girl, I highly recommend it because they have a lot of really beautiful products and at a really good price point as well. So Honey Girl Organics was a great discovery when I was in Hawaii. Oh, here we go. I have another Flourish product, surprise, surprise. Finished their Rosewood Infusion and Angelica Body Cream. Enough said about them. It's huge, love, awesome staple of mine. Love Flourish. All right, here's another staple, the Dr. Hauschka Rose Deodorant. I have, you know, tried so many deodorants, sticks, creams, DIY. This is always the one I go back to. And I have noticed though that it doesn't work quite as effectively as it used to, probably because I'm going on 10 years of use. So I usually am still rotating a new one in, and right now I'm trying that Living Libations cream that I showed you guys in a beauty habit haul. I did a little, you know, probably 2 or 3 videos back. And I am actually really liking that one. So I think it helps for me to rotate always have a different one in rotation so that my body just doesn't get completely immune to this, because I really love this. I love having a roll-on. I love that it's glass and I can recycle it. And but like I said, I think just having 2 in rotation is really good for my body chemistry. So hopefully I can keep on using this for the rest of my life, but rotating in something else as well. And I am gonna try to grab, here we go. I'm gonna grab this one because this is the True Organic roll-on. And as you can see, there's a little bit left because this just did not work out for anybody in my family. First of all, I really did not like the smell. It's not like it's unpleasant, but it's just, it kind of has a little bit of it's a little bit on the citrusy side, but I really just don't like it as a deodorant. And it really was not effective at all for me. And then I gave it to my husband. He really did not like it. Didn't work out. And so obviously I'm gonna be recycling that and not getting it again. This I'm just gonna mention really quick, the Marin Bee Honey Butter, what do they call this? The honey butter. I was gonna say that maybe it was their hand cream or something, but it's just called the honey butter. I bought this as a hand cream, and it was, I'm gonna give this maybe like a 7 or an 8 out of 10. I'm not gonna talk about it too much because I really wanna work on a full hand cream review. So pretty good, but I don't think I would repurchase it. Stay tuned, I'll talk more about that later. Now, this is the Herbivore Rose Hibiscus Mist. Do they call it a mist? They call it the Coconut Water Hydrating Face Mist. I love this stuff. It works really, really well. I add this sometimes to dry masks. I obviously use this as a face mist. And you guys have heard me talk a lot about face mists and how I use them, so I don't need to go on and on about this. But I will be repurchasing this in the future. As I'm sure you have guessed, I've got a couple, maybe 2 or 3 mists going, and I've got another one coming because in the box Walla, they've got the new Amli one coming out, as I mentioned. So I don't need to be buying a mist anytime soon, but I would definitely repurchase that in the future, and I plan on doing so. This is a mist or a toner that I actually didn't really enjoy at all. This is the Cranberry Toner from Arcona. And I used it a few times, and I actually ended up dumping it because I didn't want to accidentally use it again, because I would forget I would use it, and then I would say, oh yeah, I really do not like the smell of this. I would forget about it, and then I would use it again, and I'd be like, oh my God, why did I use that again? Because I can't deal with the smell. That happened a few times, and then I was like, okay, I just got to dump this stuff because I don't want to accidentally use it. And yeah, I don't know what the deal is with the smell, and it really lingers, and it almost is headache inducing for me. So that's just total no-go. And this is the MOA, or the MOA Fortifying Green Bath Potion. This is what the box looks like. I wanted to save the box this time. I think I have mentioned this before in the past. Really cute box that is paper, so you can recycle it. And then this is what the bottle looks like. Really beautiful green bottle. And the smell is fennel and mint. And it's really, really strong, but I love it. I find it really just very therapeutic, very relaxing, especially for my muscles. I mean, I don't think it actually has a direct therapeutic effect on your muscles, but just kind of your overall being. If you are feeling stressed or you've had a hard workout, it's just amazing in the bath. It really fills the entire bathroom. It might be too potent for some. Like when my husband comes into the bathroom when I'm taking a bath, he's like, whoa, this is really intense in here. I gotta take off. So it's a little bit too much for him, but I love it. So you've gotta really like the smell of that like anise fennel scent. So if you don't like that, you shouldn't get it. If you do like it, I highly recommend it. All right, what else do I have in here? Okay, this I bought a long time ago. This was a recommendation from Lisa Eldridge. This is the Botanics. Let's see, this is their Hot Cloth Cleansing Balm. I don't even know if they still make this. I got this from Target. This was probably, gosh, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. I think she made this video I was looking it up. I think it was like 5 years ago when she talked about this. And this was kind of like the first time I'd ever actually heard about cleansing balms and massage and all of that. And she spoke about this one, and I think she talked about the Eve Lom one. And I wasn't about to go and spend that kind of money on Eve Lom when I had never really tried a cleansing balm. So I started with this one, and I really, really liked it. And the ingredients actually aren't that bad. And I did reach out to Boots because it says that I think like fragrance is in the ingredient list, and I wanted to make sure that they didn't use phthalates, and they said that they do not use phthalates. And I really actually like the scent a lot. It does not linger. It doesn't smell synthetic-y at all. And since then, I've gotten really strict on the synthetic fragrance in my skincare. But if you are not, that strict, if you want to try a face balm that is more affordable, I actually really do recommend this. I feel when I was using this, I really enjoyed it. I felt like it really made my skin soft and did an excellent job of cleansing. I actually didn't end up finishing it all. I think I got about 3/4 of the way, and then it's been sitting in my cupboard for, probably a couple years, and then it just went bad. So I just scooped it out and got rid of it. But that is a product I recommend if it is still available at Target. I'm actually not sure. But yeah, anyway, it was a Lisa Eldridge recommendation, just so you know. And here's another Flourish body product. This is the Lemongrass and Melissa scent. Beautiful. If you're a lemongrass fan, yeah, I can't highly recommend this enough. The lemongrass in here is just gorgeous. I love this so much. Wow, that's 3 Flourish products, you guys. Okay, so here's a product from Living Libations. This is one of their best skin evers. And this is the Lavish Abundance. And I did get this in a swap with my friend Lacey, who lives here in Portland. And this scent was just way too much for me to use as a skincare product. It's almost cloying in its sweetness and its floral sweetness. So I ended up using this to shave with. So, did the repurposing thing. So I would not purchase this in the future. And just in general, I've kind of moved beyond the best skin evers for skincare. So I wouldn't be repurchasing the best skin evers just in general. So if you want my personal opinion, I think the best one is the sandalwood one. If I had to pick one, that's the one I would pick to use. But I have just found other, cleansers and oils that I do like better. All right, so here is a hair oil. I'm always wanting to try hair oils just to see what I like the best. This one is the Ever Recovery Hair Oil from Reverie. And I did not like this at all. It was really, really thin, like almost as thin as water. I mean, it's pretty crazy. It's like when you put it out onto your hand, it just like drips all over the place. So just from like a product use point of view, not super pleasant to use, just because like I said, it just runs all over the place. And then I don't really feel like it did a very good job of, giving me the hydration that I need. And then my husband also used hair oils, and he didn't like it either. So that was just a hard pass for the future. We managed to get through it and use it, but definitely would not get that again. Here is the Coquina Eye Serum. As you know, I absolutely love this. This is a staple. This is empty, but I have a brand new one. And I was, I didn't have the eye serum for probably 3 to 4 weeks, and I was really, really sad about it. So yeah, just couldn't wait to get my hands on a new bottle of it, which I'm thrilled to have again. So yeah, I always want to have the Coquina Eye Serum in my life. And yes, this is an empty, which is a staple. All right, and this is now officially empty. This is the Bottega Organica Cherish Face Balm, and I did a whole brand review of this, talked about why I love this so much, so I'm not going to talk about it right now, but yes, love this. This is an empty. I already have a new one, and I'm thrilled about that. So again, this is another item I don't want to be without. Okay, and this was a sample that I got sent from Natural Logic. This is their Luna face mask. I want to reserve a discussion about this until later because this is just a gorgeous mask, and I have the full size, so I think I just want to do a whole review of Tony's masks later because I have several that I want to review. So this is an empty. I have the full size. I love it. It's amazing, and I highly recommend the Luna mask if you haven't tried it yet. And just in general, the Natural Logic masks are wonderful. Very nurturing, very effective. And I'm going to talk again about Natural Logic. This is the Peptide Firming Serum. And I mentioned this too in, I think, oh, this might have been in my top 2017 products. And I've already purchased more of this. I got the full size. So yes, I do really love this a lot, obviously, because I bought it. And okay, Nap in the Meadow. This is an empty. Totally love this. This is a gorgeous product. It's a wonderful serum that's very hydrating. It's very soothing. It helps your skin if it's feeling kind of irritated or just in need of some love. And it has chamomile in it. Of course, it's just got gorgeous ingredients as all of the Earthwise Beauty products do. And I'm not going to go into too much detail about that because I'm sure you guys know a lot about Nap in the Meadow because it's talked about all the time on Instagram. So let's see what else we've got going in here. I still have quite a bit. Oh yeah, okay. Here is an empty of the Primavera serum from Mala Apothecary. This is a vitamin C serum. Gorgeous. I bought a new one of this. You guys have heard me talk a lot about this. So yes, this is another empty, which I have replaced. So moving on to a Reverie product that has become a staple. This is their Milk, and it's basically a leave-in conditioner. I love this stuff. So what I do is I typically use a hair oil kind of along the ends, and then I'll kind of rub it into my hands and then kind of put it towards my hairline so it's not, you know, too much. It's just sort of the leftover residual because I don't want things to look too greasy. And then I'll maybe go in with 4 or 5 pumps of the conditioner, the leave-in conditioner from Reverie, put that all over my hands, and then kind of do the same thing, just put it all over. And it works great. And the scent is beautiful. It kind of has a rosemary sandalwood scent, and it doesn't linger for hours and hours. But when I've gone somewhere, like if I put that in my hair and then someone comes over, or I go to the grocery store or something and my hair is still a little bit damp, I actually have gotten compliments on that I smell good, and I'm pretty sure that it's the Milk because it's been times where I haven't put on any perfume or anything like that. So the smell is beautiful. It works really well. And I've already repurchased another bottle of it. Here's a product from Earthwise Beauty that I didn't really love so much. This is the Cistus and Moonlight, and this is their face mist, and I'm pretty sure that it's, you know, hydrosols of the Cistus. And it's not anything against the product itself. It's just that I'm personally really picky about Cistus. I tend to not really like the scent of Cistus. I don't know if you guys have ever smelled it on its own, but it's kind of a peculiar scent, and it's very, very earthy, like really earthy, sort of like dig your hands into, you know, the earth that's like dark brown, almost kind of red, like if you're going on a hike that's very, you know, like fecund soil. It's kind of intense, almost composty, kind of earthy scent. And so it just doesn't really gel with me. Now, I know that Andy from the Green Queen loves it. She adores it. And that's actually why I got it. It was my first order with Earthwise Beauty, and it really resonates with her. She loves it. But when I got it, I was just like, no, this just isn't for me. So what I did actually though, is I added some drops of cedar oil, Atlas cedar oil in it. And what I would do is I would mix it with dry mask, but just kind of spraying it directly onto my face, that was a no-go for me. Now, I would love it if Ava would create more mists and toners. I would love to see what she would do with other essences for sure. It's just that Cistus is not for me. So just a heads up for you guys on that. If you have never experienced Cistus before, you might want to give that a little bit of a try before you were to buy that particular product. So this is from Aroma M. This is her Camellia hair oil, and this is stunning. This is, now talk about a smell that I love. This is just absolutely gorgeous. I believe this has tuberose and jasmine and rosemary. I think it might also have some frankincense in it, but this, yeah, this hair oil is gorgeous. It worked really well for me. It kind of has that perfect thickness to it. Definitely not on the thin side, but not too thick where you feel like you can't really run it through your hair or you can't disperse it on your hands. Anyway, this hair oil is just stunning and I highly recommend it. Okay, so the next one is the Fiore Vitale, and this is an essence. And you can see that this was kind of a bummer for me because I got this from Beauty Habit. This was like a gift with purchase. And unfortunately, the pump never worked for me. And I ended up having to screw off the cap and pouring it out. And I don't know if I got like a batch that wasn't super fresh or what, but I kind of, I don't know, I just feel like I did not get the best experience with this. So I almost don't even want to review it because I just don't know what to say about it because it was malfunctioning and I don't know. I didn't really feel like it did much for me, but at the same time it's such a small little thing and I've already had sort of bad experiences with sample sizes, so I would really love at some point to either try it again or have the full size. So I don't want to say anything negative really about it because I don't really feel like I got a fair shake from this little travel size. So, but it doesn't really make me want to go out and get the full size because when I like poured it out on my hand, I didn't get much of a scent profile from it, and I didn't find it particularly, you know, when I put it on, it didn't feel particularly nourishing or didn't feel super special in any way. So for those of you who do have this product, I would love to hear your comments about it. Do you feel like I missed out? Does it not seem super special to you? Because her emulsifying cleanser that I am trying right now, and I'm blanking on the name, is really nice and I'm enjoying it a lot. So I don't want to just dismiss it, but if you do have any insight to this Vitale, definitely let me know. Okay, we are getting down to the nitty-gritty here. And let's see, so this is a sample that I got from Beauty Habit. This is the Ellis Brooklyn Fable Body Milk. And I don't even really want to open this up because I really did not like this. And I've tried a couple of the Ellis Brooklyn perfumes and I was not super impressed. They smelled pretty synthetic-y to me and not super special or unique. And so I thought, well, I'll give the Body Milk a try. And kind of the same thing. This smells very synthetic-y to me. The scent does not smell particularly special at all. It actually smells kind of generic to me. I hate to sound really negative about it, but that's definitely my experience. And when you go to their website, they definitely don't say that they're 100% natural. They just say that their products don't contain phthalates or parabens or whatever. So if they were 100% natural, they would definitely state that they were 100% natural. So they definitely use synthetics. I would put money on that. And yeah, I just don't know. I put it on my skin when it first arrived and I could not wait to get it off my skin. So this again smells very, this is kind of one of those headache inducing scents for me. And I believe it's gotten pretty good reviews, which I kind of find surprising. I don't quite understand that, but I don't know. If you guys have had experience with the Fable scent from Ellis Brooklyn, I'd love to get your feedback. I don't want to sound, too dismissive or snobby about it. I'm definitely interested to hear what you guys have experienced with it, but I definitely wanted to put it out there that it definitely does not seem to be a 100% natural perfume or body care site. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but You know, as you guys know, I'm totally for moderation, and if I had completely fallen in love with that scent, then maybe I would be using it. But I think there's this notion, especially because they are carried on Credo, that it might be 100% natural, which I think is actually a little bit confusing that Credo is carrying them. But that's maybe a different discussion. But anyway, just would love your thoughts on that if you guys want to talk about that at all. But let's move on here. I've got my favorite teas, which I've shared with you guys in the past, but just one more time, I'll show you my empties of it. The Jasmine Green Tea by Numi, and then the traditional medicinals, chamomile with lavender. And then just as a little, you know, just a little heads up, if you are on the Vitacost mailing list and you do see that they have a 20% off, that's a great time to stock up on teas, especially the Numi, because Numi can be pretty, or it is pretty expensive. But what I do is I stock up on this in particular. And it's also a good time to maybe try some new teas. Like the last time I think I got their rose one, I stocked up on the peppermint, I stocked up on, I think there was a different one I also decided to try. They're not empty yet, so those will show up in another empties. And I did stock up also on this one as well. So I just bought a whole bunch of teas. Sometimes they'll be, I forget what their minimum is for free shipping. But anyway, if you're low on tea, that's a good time to stock up on teas when the Vitacost has their 20% off. So the last thing is the Honey Mama's Cacao Nectar Bar, and I wanted to try the ginger cardamom. And I have to say that even though it was really wonderful, I didn't like it quite as much as, I think it was the coconut one that I tried, and there was also a mint one. So while this one was just super delicious and probably better than most any other chocolate that I would get at the grocery store, I think when I get it again, I would probably get either the coconut or the mint one. And they are expensive, so I just kind of wait and see, like, again, when I'm at Whole Foods or New Seasons, when they're on sale, just grab a couple of those as a special treat. So this has really been a long video. This might be the longest one on record for me, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.